Hello, glad you could join us today. We're going to be talking about Gateway Classic Cars, and there's an organization that's looking for some really good journalists. Come on back. Hi, I'm Robin Boyce for CityCorner. Thank you for joining us today. And in the studio, first up is Gateway Classic Cars, Mr. Ken Dunstman, who is Director of Marketing for a wonderful organization that I'm getting to know about a little bit here. You guys are located in O'Fallon, Illinois, is that correct?
Yes, we started in 1999. We were in Fairmont City, and we moved to O'Fallon in 2014. Since then, we've actually grown. We now have 20 showrooms around the country.
Wow. So these are classic, dated, back in the day type cars that have either been refurbished or people bring them or sell them to you, or people might say, I'm a collector and I want to give them to you. Tell us a lot more about what Gateway Classic Cars does.
So we are the world's largest classic car sales company.
Really?
So we specialize in finding new homes for people's classic cars, exotic cars. And we have the whole range, whether it's a 1923 hot rod, T-bucket, Model T, all the way up through some of the more mid-70s, 80s muscle. And the whole scope of anything that's classic, vintage, antique, muscle, that's our specialty.
Now, additionally, you really do some pretty neat things over there as well. Your place is laid out here in the St. Louis area. I don't know if it's like that at the other places as well, but you're an events place where you have weddings and receptions and functions for people to come and really enjoy checking out the cars as well as whatever the event is about. Tell us about that.
So our O'Fallon location, it is our corporate headquarters, but we are also a registered museum. And we have visitors that come in all the time just to take a walk down memory lane, see some of the new vehicles that we get in. As we are selling new vehicles, we're always adding to our inventory as well. So, every couple months coming back, you would get to see what's been added, and there's really a whole range of vehicles. But as a museum, we also are an event venue. We handle weddings, surprise parties, birthday parties, anniversaries. We are very happy to partner with Scott Air Force Base, and we've held a lot of retirement and promotion ceremonies. And this July, we have partnered up with STL Smooth Jazz, and on July 16th, we're going to be putting on a jazz concert back in our 30,000 square foot expo center.
Oh, which I think you're now calling it the Jazz Garage?
It is called Jazz Garage.
Okay.
Yes. And this was a product of us trying to find something for people to do during COVID. And we started with outdoor concerts in the parking lot. And it's been great to partner with them. And we decided to bring one inside, get some excellent national and local talent. So Jacob Webb and Jay White will be performing.
Very good.
Rodney Connor, but Rhoda G, who is extremely popular in this area, she'll be one of the supporting
regional
acts.
artists. Yeah, that's awesome. So you'll get a chance to really have a good time where people can come and check out some good jazz. Folks are really happy to get out now, getting past this pandemic, even though things are a little crazy. But you at least are offering still outdoor kind of spread out spaces for people to really enjoy having fun, listening to good music, and checking out some really classic cars.
Our whole museum is 120,000 square feet. It is extremely spacious. We have 3 different event areas where the guests can enjoy the experience of checking out the classic cars, having that as kind of just a great background and backdrop to the wedding events or other types of events that we put on.
Yes.
We've had school district fundraisers, we've had corporate parties. There's really no limit to what we can do, from 5 to 500 people up, we can accommodate it, and we're very excited to be getting back to being able to hold these events after the last 2 years.
It sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like something different to do. A lot of folks are always looking for something outside of the norm. And this is it. This seems like what is who is the person that would come to any of your dealerships? What kind of person? Just give us that profile who's got a class or wants to buy a classic car.
So on the last Saturday of every month, all 20 of our showrooms have an event called Caffeine and Chrome. It's our spin on cars and coffee, and it's from 9 a.m. to noon. And that's where we invite the local car clubs, car collectors, and car enthusiasts to come down and showcase their vehicles. It ends up being a great indoor-outdoor type of car show, and it's open to the public. We get all sorts of people who join us. We have people who remember when those cars were new. We have people bringing their children in to kind of start them on the passion of classic cars, and everywhere in between. It's a really wide audience that I just love telling the stories.
And
of
for
the
those
vehicles.
who want to sell their cars, a lot of people come to those events to see if you guys are interested and.
Yes, so we do sell predominantly on consignment, and we're always looking to add and grow to our inventory. So if anybody has a classic or collectible car they're interested in selling, you can contact us at GatewayClassicCars.com, and we can be happy to sit down and talk to you about selling your classic car at no charge to you.
What are some of the most popular cars from back in the day that people like? I mean, for me, it's the 50s. And the old DeSotos and the old Chevys and the old Fords. It's just that line, that look was just so cool looking. And especially when you look back and you look at different programs like Dragnet and Mannix, programs like that are rerunning right now. I see those cars and I'm like, oh, that was really a cool looking car, So which ones are really popular?
So the Chevy Bel Airs are extremely popular. Those mid 60 to early 70 Mustangs are extremely popular.
Really?
But we have Corvettes, Chevelles, all the way to some really unique custom-made vehicles, and so it's a wide variety. Every car in our showroom has a story to tell.
I bet.
And that's one of my favorite parts about the job is I get to tell that story.
So you kind of, for the museum part, you have areas that are set up for specific kind of special year of cars, and you take people on a story around the museum with reference to the time period that it was made and what that car was about, and a gangster owned it or what.
So as we're always finding new homes and adding inventory, the lineup changes on where everything's placed, and we'll have all the Mustangs in one area and a line of the Corvettes, and you never really know what's going to be added until we have it come into our showroom.
Right.
And every one of the cars has a description on it and talks about the history and what makes it special.
That's really cool. Are some of these cars, are they rentable from your place where people might want to rent them for, say, a wedding or a parade or something like that?
No, and that's a very common question.
Okay.
As our vehicles are on consignment, they're owned by private individuals, and it's not something that we could accommodate. There's a lot of liability, and we wouldn't even want to think about having anything happen to any of the vehicles.
Any of those cars. Now, do you guys do any restorations to old cars that might be sitting somewhere and somebody wants you guys to fix it up, or recommendations on places for folks to go to get them redone?
So we don't do any of the restoration. Each one of our showrooms, we try to network with the local community. So depending upon where you're located, we might be able to recommend a restoration shop or a mechanical repair shop if there's something that needs to get fixed or updated. We get calls all the time, people looking for parts or help, and we're able to work with the local car clubs and the local businesses to try to get those questions answered.
Well, I was going to ask about that as well, especially since the COVID and pandemic, and parts for cars. It's become a huge issue with the newer cars. How has that been for getting parts for older cars that are not necessarily driven every day, but you know, a owner might just want to get out in their old car every once in a while. Is it hard to find those parts now, or are those American-made cars, especially, those parts are available, or are we still waiting for them like there are most of the other new ones these days?
There's a lot of availability for cars from back in that day.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
If it's no longer being made or out in circulation, I've heard of a number of fabrication shops that they're actually rebuilding and recreating those parts for some of the much older cars.
So that possibility is there if somebody at home is looking at this program, and they probably got a nice old something in the garage, have been, you know, putting it off, really love that car. They might want to give you guys a call just to find out, you know, a little bit more information on what they could possibly do with this.
Oh, we're always happy to talk to people and talk about classic cars all day long.
That's great.
And we work with a lot of the local car clubs in all of our areas. And they have such a passion for a more specific year, make, and model of a car. So a lot of times, the customer who's calling us, we actually can get them in touch with the car clubs and get all of their questions answered, and maybe even join a new social scene.
Exactly, because it kind of opens things up for people to meet newer people and find out about other things that are going on. Now, you travel around the country. What parts of the country are you seeing? Are you guys set up for classic cars? You got dealerships.
So we have as far west as Las Vegas and Scottsdale. We have 3 in Florida. We have 3 in Texas. We're as far north as Detroit, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. And right around this area, we have Chicago, Indianapolis, Louisville, Nashville.
Okay.
Atlanta is an amazing market.
So you're in Atlanta as well?
Yes, we are.
What parts of Texas? What areas?
So we are in Dallas.
Okay.
And then Houston.
Houston.
We are in the process of opening up our New Braunfels showroom. That's right between San Antonio and Austin.
Yes, yes.
And so that gives us the ability to take care of a lot of customers in the entire state.
So exactly. So you guys have really been able to branch out. Did you get started here in St. Louis, Missouri, or the Illinois area in Fairmont City?
In 1999.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been doing this for over 23 years.
This is amazing that something like this really branched out and actually exploded, so to speak, where people just love their cars.
There's a passion there, and I think it's hard to describe, but you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah.
And people are emotionally connected to their vehicles.
I think this is great. This is great. People are going to be calling you for sure.
That's quite
They're
all right.
going to be hitting you up, trying to find out what's going on. My brother's a car enthusiast. I would tell him, hey, you got to get over and check out these guys. And we've got the information up on the board right now where Gateway Classic Cars are located. It's over in O'Fallon, Illinois. You need to get on by there. And you also have GatewayClassicCars.com. Check them out. And you can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, Instagram. A great organization that has these old, great classic cars that you can just drive around and, come up with some kind of theme in your head for the day to have a good time.
Come out and visit us, and we welcome anybody who wants to take a walk down memory lane.
Yes.
Maybe add to their collection.
I really appreciate you coming on board and really
thank you,
talking
Robin.
with me about these great cars, classic cars. Takes you back in memory sometimes. My first car ever drove, age of 16, was a Mustang with a black vinyl top, red black vinyl top. I miss that little Mustang. Anyway, thanks, Ken.
Check out GatewayClassicCars.com, and we might very well have
one. It
one.
might be there, okay? It might be there. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Robin.
Right. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back. We've got some good information, and there's someone here to really talk with you about looking for some Black journalists who were trying to do that back in the day, and we want to know where you are right now. Come on back.
What I love about St. Louis is the 79 unique neighborhoods nestled into 108 city parks, including Forest Park, which is actually larger than Central Park in New York, and of course, the beautiful Tower Grove Park where I'm at now. Oh, the St. Louis Blues. We've got the St. Louis Surge, 2-time WBCBL champions. We've got Harris Stowe, WashU, St. Louis University, and of course, the 11-time World Series champion, St. Louis Cardinals. So come experience St. Louis.
And welcome back to City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce, and in the studios with me right now is a legend in journalism here in St. Louis, Miss Linda Lockhart. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great, Robin. Thank you very much. I'm just so happy to be here and have a chance to chat with you.
I know, it's really good seeing you. You have been a part of the Greater St. Louis Association of Black Journalists since its humble beginnings.
Since its start, indeed. I had the Greater St. Louis Association of Black Journalists, GSLABJ, is 45 years old. And we started in 1976 after I'd had the opportunity to attend the first convention of the National Association of Black Journalists. And at the time I was working at the Post-Dispatch as a reporter, and I was so excited to meet all these people around the country. And I came back and I told all my friends here in St. Louis, we've got to do something like this. We need to form a local chapter. And that's how it all got started.
Really? Really? It was, and at that time, you were at the Post-Dispatch, right?
Correct.
Right. You had opportunity. And then those individuals, the print journalists from the Post-Dispatch, are really the foundation for getting things off the ground. And then you had some TV journalists that came on board.
Well, we have some TV journalists who were among the founding members as well.
Yeah.
Robin Smith and some others. At the time, Stan Stovall was still in town in the market.
Chris, he was with Channel 9, right?
Gaynell Jones-Evans was at the Nine Network.
Evans, yes.
So yeah, we had a number of great founders, who were across the board, photographers, reporters, editors, and things of that sort. So I mean, our strongest founding members actually were Joe Palmer and Betty Lee from the Jeff Vanderloo News and Proud Magazine.
Wow,
and,
lots of memories there.
Oh gosh, yes.
Great people.
George Curry and Gerald Boyd, who were also Post-Dispatch reporters.
Yes.
Gerald became our first president, and when we organized, it was Joe Palmer. He said he didn't want us to be another social organization. We had to be about something. We had to, not just have parties and award ourselves with, certificates or whatever. And so one of the very first things we did, we were founded in October or November of 1976, and in that January of 77, we launched our first high school journalism workshop, a minority journalism workshop for high school students and college freshmen and sophomores.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was great. We started in January. It was crazy. We had an 8-week program.
Was it?
Our first home for many years was at St. Louis Community College at Forest Park. They welcomed us in with open arms, and we had about 50 young people, including you, Robin.
I think I was there.
You were in the very first class. We had some rock stars even today, and we're so excited and proud of you, of what you've accomplished
I will never
with your
forget
career.
the snow on that day.
8 weeks.
Oh my
These
God.
young people committed to coming for 8 weeks.
It was the
every
scariest
Saturday.
thing in the world for me. Really, no, seriously, it prepped me for what I've been doing all these years. And oh my God, I appreciate what you all poured into us, really, those who stayed in the field.
And this was a totally volunteer organization.
Yep.
We all were working our day jobs or our night jobs or whatever, 5 days a week. But on Saturdays, we were at the workshop. The young people came through snow, through cold for all of January, all of February, 8-week program of learning the specifics of how to write news stories, how to take photographs, how to shoot video, introduction to public relations, if they wanted to go into that direction. And here we are 45 years later, still kicking. Our group has sort of been a catalyst for other organizations around the country. Some of our members who left and went elsewhere, like our founding member, Chris Moore, you were mentioning from who was at Channel 9. He went to Pittsburgh and he started a workshop there. And so there are other workshops around the country that we helped get the impetus for. So we're just excited of that early classes of 50 people for several years. And we've continued, continuously through current days. We expect we've had more than, 1,000, 2,000 young people who've gone through that program.
Yeah, because the workshop has been continuous every year. Usually, well, it used to meet first quarter of the year, and then it kind of moved into the fall, kind of, sort of. Kind of,
summer.
Graduated, kind of did some things.
It's been fluid. It hasn't always had the same exact. We haven't gone for 8 weeks for a long time because that was a lot of demand on the students as well as the professional volunteers. But we've been from whether it's 4 weeks or 5, or sometimes we just had, in some years we only had, 2 or 3 weeks, but we still get that foundation across to young people. We have a news quiz every week.
Lord have mercy.
From the very beginning, people walked in that door and didn't know, we're going to have a news quiz. We want to see what you know. And in today's age with, social media, people getting, their information off of Twitter, off of Facebook, we say, no, but you still need to go to the source and not wait for your friend to send you a link. go to these websites, go to these news pages, watch the TV news, listen to the radio news. And so we've told young people from the start, we hope you will become journalists. That's one of the points of NABJ, the National Association, is to increase more people of color, African Americans in particular, in this field, and to help and support one another as we move up through the ranks, from basics into management, because that's where the decisions are made, right?
Yep.
The producers behind the scene, the ones calling the shots back there behind the camera, what stories get on the air, what stories get on the front page. We want to support that.
I tell you, it has helped me tremendously. Just, I think it was a couple of years I did the workshop, and oh my God, 77, I think 78, and before moving on to four-year university, and oh my God, I have been in situations. I remember one in Texas when I was working for News Corps with Fox. The things that went on in that newsroom, you guys told us about so many years before.
Oh gosh, yeah, we're a support network. If
I'm
you just
like,
have to vent
wow.
and unload,
Yes.
we're family. And so what we tell young people in particular is we hope you will go into media, but you are not, if you go into whatever direction you end up going, these skills that we give you here will help you in the long run.
And they did.
How to ask better questions, critical thinking,
Yeah.
how to, be a better consumer of the news, that you might be a person who's just sitting at home and wanting to be a voter, but how to judge, what's news and what's not news.
And a lot of people don't know how to do that, really.
Right. Yeah, so it's literally, it's media literacy that we're also helping instill with these young people. So what we're doing now, after 45 years,
Yes.
is that we're trying to track up where our young people have gone and have moved on in their careers. We want to use this as a recruiting tool for getting more students in, saying, look at, these jobs people have, had over the last 45 years. We want to let people network with each other and find, your old classmates.
Right.
But we also want to be a resource for employers who are looking to hire people, that we can have this directory. So we're planning to build an online directory that we can continue up until the current day and stay current. We're starting from scratch right now and hoping to initially find the young people who were in those first 10 years from 1977 to 1987 and see if we can get, your cohorts, your classmates and friends that you were with and just find out, how are you doing, what you doing, and
What are some of the folks doing now that you've been in contact with?
Oh man, well in addition to you, Robin, you're a media queen here with radio, TV, public relations, you're doing it all. You've taken all those skills. But we have people like Mark Russell, who was a local St. Louis young man who is now executive editor of the Commercial Appeal in Memphis, Tennessee.
Whoa.
He previously worked as an editor at the Orlando Sentinel and the Cleveland Plain Dealer. We have Ann Scales, who was
My girl Ann.
one of your classmates, who also worked at the Post-Dispatch initially. She's currently the director of media relations for the Massachusetts Department of Public Health. But she had worked for the Boston Globe for a number of years, was a White House correspondent.
That's right.
Yes, assistant editor, deputy editor of the Living and Arts section. So Ann was doing it. Andre Jackson, also former editor at the Post-Dispatch of the business section. He's now editorial editor at the Atlantic Journal-Constitution.
He's gone to Atlanta.
Yeah, he's been in Atlanta for a number of years.
All right.
But he's helping us with this project. And also Benny Curry, one of our very earliest students. He's in Chicago now, and he's actually one of the people that's in a different area, but he still loves, being called an ABJ baby.
Yes.
He's a financial services professional with New York Life Insurance and has his own financial investment company. Yeah, he and his wife Celeste Garrett, and they were little high school sweethearts in the workshop.
In the journalism
No,
field?
she's a partner with New York Life.
Is
so
she?
they've got the
Really?
family business.
Oh, wow.
We've got people coming more up to date, like Aja Williams, who was in our workshop and met her current husband. He was a fellow student.
Exactly.
Like Benny and Celeste were already a couple when they came to the workshop.
She's running things down at KETC now, right?
Yes, Aja is Nine Network PBS's new vice president and chief content officer. So we're very proud of her.
Look at Aja.
And one of our latest babies, just announced in the last couple of weeks, is Imani Wentz. And she's opened Noir Bookstore, a Black-focused bookstore in South St. Louis. It's the only bookstore in South St. Louis that's focusing on the Black experience.
And she was a workshop baby.
She's one of our more recent workshop babies, about 10 years ago. So she's an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and has done a number of things. And so we're just so proud of so many young people that have come through there. And we feel like we've made a difference, but we're not done. And so now, I'm a veteran, I'm a senior, and I'm retired from, the news business. We're looking for all of our young people to step forward. Our current chapter president is Taylor Harris, who works for the Post-Dispatch as one of their breaking news reporters, and she's got some great leadership ideas. And so
Great.
we've sustained through the pandemic, which is a challenge for everybody. We had virtual meetings a couple of weeks ago. As I said, we had a virtual one-day seminar for these high school young people who came from as far as Francis Howell School District in St. Charles.
Very good.
To the Metro East, Maplewood, Richmond Heights. We had kids from all the school districts, many school districts around the area. And that was one of the benefits of having this virtual opportunity, that young people could still come and attend. But we're still hoping to have a full workshop in the early fall. We're still working on the plans for
22,
that.
in the fall of
2022.
22.
Because
Okay.
the other big thing is we give out scholarships.
Yes, you do.
And we've been
Which helped me out quite a bit.
successful in raising money, and we've got money available. We just need to have the opportunity to have the kids work with us. And at the end of each workshop, they produce news products, whether it's a video presentation, little short newscasts. What we call the Black Scribe has been where our written products go, and that's posted online now.
Right, which is awesome. I remember the Black Scribe. Wow, back in the day.
So it's digital, today we stay with the time. So all that lives on our organization's website, which is GSLABJ.org. And so people can go to the website and get more information about the organization, about the workshop, about this directory. We're hoping that young people are going to be able to come in, and like I said, all of our alumni and past members.
You've got the information there on screen for you.
There you go. We're excited about that.
And
the Media Hall of Fame, that's one of our past presidents, Carol Daniel, is being recognized this year by the Media Hall of Fame.
Right on, Carol.
Yes, she was our leader for a number of years.
Yes, she was. Yes.
And she's been at KMOX Radio for a number of years. And so she was not involved in our workshop in the early days, but she has certainly chimed in as a guest speaker.
She has.
These days.
I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking with them. People can get in contact. They can either email us at GSLABJWKSP45@gmail.com, okay?
Right.
Or go to our website at GSLABJ.org. That's the Greater St. Louis Association of Black Journalists.org. And you can find out more information about those who participated at one time, either in my class back in 77, 78, or what's going on up to this point now, moving forward. Contact the organization if you want your students to get involved and be a part of the workshop. If you want to find out more information about getting your information in to let everybody know where you are.
Exactly.
In the metropolitan area across the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
giving me
having
an
us on.
opportunity to talk with you all a lot more about what's going on here in this great organization and letting everybody know.
We love you. We're proud of you, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much. And I really thank you for the wisdom. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you so much for joining us here on City Corner. We'll see you next time. Stay with us and you have an awesome week.